Welcome to Dantech Computer Solutions. So today I want us to learn about AutoCAD, and today we are going to do the first exercise for the AutoCAD. But before we start with the exercise, I want us to look at some few things about the AutoCAD. So you'll allow me to check on this. So we have the basic AutoCAD terminologies, and number one, we have the tools that are used in AutoCAD. So one, we have the drawing tools. So you can see that we have the command, we have the keystroke, the icon, how it looks like, then the menu and the result. So one, we have the line, and the line looks like this one. This is the icon for the line. So when you click the line, you are able to draw a line. So the result will be draw a straight line segment from one point to the next. So we do that using a line. Then we have a circle. This is the icon for the circle, and this helps us to draw a circle based on a center point and a radius. Then we have a rectangle. A rectangle draws a rectangle after you enter one corner and then you enter the second corner. So we have the first corner and we have the second corner. Then we have the modifying tools. These are tools that are used to modify our drawings. For instance, we have move. This is the icon for move. It moves an object or objects. Then we have the copy. It modifies or copies objects once or multiple times. Then we have the stretch. This is the icon for the stretch. It stretches an object after you have selected a portion of it. Then we have the mirror. It creates a mirror image of an object or selection set. Then we have the trim. It trims or modifies. It trims objects to a selected cutting edge. So this is the icon for the trim. Then we have extend. It extends the object to a selected boundary edge. Then we have offset. It offsets an object parallel by set distance. So this is the offset icon. And we have other icons here. We have the rotate. It rotates object to a certain angle. Then we have the fillet, used to create a round corner between two lines. So it modifies any corner and modifies it to create a round corner between two lines. Then we have this, used to create an angled corner between two lines. This is the icon. Then we have the array. The array creates a repeating pattern of the selected objects. So we have the dimensioning tools. These are the tools used to give dimensions of that particular drawing that we have. Number one, which is this one, is a linear, and the linear dimensions are used for dimensioning either horizontal or vertical distances. Then we have the second one, which is aligned. Aligned dimensions will measure the actual length of an angled line parallel. Then we have the radius, which is number three, this one. This is the radius. The radius dimensions will give you the radius of either arcs or the circles. Then we have number four, which is this one. Number four is known as diameter, and the diameter dimensions are used on circles only. Then we have angular, that is number five, which is this one. The angular dimensions will measure the angle between two lines that you pick. Then we have number six, which is baseline, this one. The baseline dimensions are special type elements with a common baseline. Then we have number seven, which are continuing dimensions and are special type elements that dimension from previous dimensions. After that, we have the object snaps. The object snaps. AutoCAD has a feature that makes this very easy. These are the object snaps or O-snaps. You can type OS and click enter. That represents the O-snaps. So you will see this dialog box appear. So it appears like this. This is what we call O-snaps. So the snap and grade polar tracking object snap, so you can be able to tick or select all these object snap mounts. For example, if you want to use the perpendicular, maybe if you want to see the center line, if you want to see the intersection, the parallel, the nearest, the tangent, so you just go to hot snap and you select all, then you click, you choose all this, you select all, then you press OK. So after you do that, you'll be able to use all the center points for the AutoCAD. So you have the end point, snaps to either the beginning or the end of an object such as line end. Then you have the midpoint, snaps to the exact middle of a line or an arc, that is midpoint. Then we have the center point. A center point snaps to the center point of a circle. Then we have the node, snaps to nodes, not covered in this course. Then we have the quadrant, snaps to any of the 4 quadrants of a circle. We have intersection, snaps to the point where 2 objects cross. Then we have the extension, snaps the phantom extension of an arc or line. Then we have intersection, snaps to the point where 2 objects cross. We have the extension, which snaps the phantom extension of an arc. Insertion snaps the insertion point of an object. Then we have the perpendicular, which will snap so that the result is perpendicular to line selected. Then we have the tangent, snaps to create a line tangent to a circle or an arc. Then you have the nearest, which will find the closest point an object and snap to the point. Then you have the parallel snaps, parallel to a specified line. Non-temporarily turns off all snaps. Then you have the OSNAP settings, opens the OSNAP dialog box. Temporary tracking creates a temporary tracking point. Remember, you can see the object tracking. So it allows you to select a point and then denote a new location from that point using relative coordinates, and it can save you the time of drawing and erasing construction lines. Again, we have layers. A layer is a CAD feature used to organize drawings. It organizes drawings to sections for else of management. On the format menu, click layers, then use the layer manager window that appears to organize the drawing. So you can create different layers from layers toolbar and properties and draw respective layers. So you can maybe set current layer, or maybe you can change the layers and name the layers. You can also choose different line weight for each layer and also different colors for each layer. We'll be looking at that when we'll be doing it practically. Then we have a block. A block is a collection of symbol entities, that is lines, arcs, circles, text, etc., that form a more complex entity that normally represents an object in the real world. For example, a door, a chair, a window, or a computer. We select the various drawing entities, and on drawing menu, we choose block to create a single entity of the drawing. Then we have the hatches. Hatches are used in AutoCAD is a way of filling in areas of your drawing with a pre-formatted pattern to represent certain materials. It is usually used in section views. There are 2 types of hatching you can use. For example, we have the boundary hatch and we have the arch ending. So these are the icons for the boundary hatch and for the arch ending. So the boundary hatch covers an area with a predefined pattern. Then the hatch ending edits an existing hatch. So we have the steps used on drawing menu. Choose arch, then cover an area with pre-formatted pattern. After that, we have the 3D concept. Remember, we have a 2D and we have 3Ds. We shall have a concept of displaying real-world objects on a flat surface, showing only height and width. This system uses only the X and the Y axis. So that is the 2D. The 2D uses only the X axis and the Y axis. Then we have the 3D, which is a way of displaying real-world object in a more natural way by adding depth to the height and width. This system uses the X, Y, and the Z axis. So the 2D uses only X and Y axis, but the 3D uses X, Y, and the Z axis. So you have some terminologies used, whereby you have the elevation, the difference between an object between an object being at 0 on the z-axis and the height that is above the 0. Then we have the extrude command resists the shape of a 2D outline into a 3D solid. For example, a circle would be extruded into a cylinder. Then you have the face, the simplest true 3D surface. You have the facet, a 3 or 4 sided polygon that represents a piece or section of the 3D surface. We have hidden line removal, a way of hiding lines that will not be visible if you are viewing the actual object you have drawn in AutoCAD. You have a region, a 2D area consisting of lines, arcs, extra. Then you have thickness, a property of lines and other objects that gives them a 3D-like appearance. Then the z-axis is the third axis that defines the depth. So the user coordinate system, the UCS, this is defined by the user. Wound coordinate system is defined as the default canned origin. So these are samples of the 3D. So we will be drawing this, even this, we will draw all of this as samples. So I would like you to subscribe to our channel, you like it, and share with your friends. In the next exercise, we'll be able now to do the practical part of the AutoCAD, and we'll do our first exercise. Thanks and welcome again to this channel.